What's going on, BROHANS? It's the final week. Well, the final week of this program, but it is the final improvement week. All right. Hopefully you guys have been absolutely happy with this program. You found all the information helpful. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this program and it's helped you break up your perspective and redesign it into something that is going to push you above and beyond. So with that being said, let's talk about your decision making. All right, we've already gone through your aim, we've gone through your reaction time, we've gone through your teamwork. Now we're on the final thing, which is the second most important thing in my books, and that is decision making. So why are you dying all the time? Think about it. Like, seriously, think about your survivability in games. All right, you're dying because you're in a poor position. That's the end of it. I seriously, like, a lot of times, if you have good aim, which you should have improved by now, if you reaction time is average or better, and you are working with your team, the only other aspect is poor decision making. All right, you put yourself out in an open field. You're not standing next to a wall. Right, you're not peeking around a corner properly. You're peeking around a corner where somebody's already staring at that corner waiting for you to come out. These are all decisions that you made to try to advance. So in Rainbow Six Siege, why aren't you throwing a flash bomb before you round a corner if you know the person's there? Right? They're looking at that wall. They're waiting for you to pop around. All right? Why are you trying to face check them? All right? Like, think about it. Why are you dying? I want you guys, actually, this is a cool thing. I want you guys to download OBS Studio, and I want you to record a gameplay if you can. A lot of you may or may not have the computers that can handle a game and recording at the same time, but if you do, I want you to record some gameplay, and I want you to watch that one match and watch it intently, okay? Every time you're taking damage, I want you to rewind it by 10 seconds, and I want you to think about, as you replay that, where you are on the map and what that meant for you to take damage. Why are you out there? Could you have made a better decision? Was that really the spot that you should be? In Apex Legends, should you be running middle of the freaking field, or should you be running against the wall? All right. In Rainbow Six Siege, should you be running around that corner, or should you be walking very, very quietly, as quiet as you can, you know, walking through and trying to listen for any sort of audible cues before you round that corner? And when you round that corner, should you be aiming down sights? Should you be peeking it? Should you be waiting for your team to show up? What did you do to die? What did you do to take damage there? What decision did you make that caused you to actually get hurt? Those are things that I want you to think about as why you're dying. Once you think about them and analyze them, you can improve them. So my survivability in Apex has improved drastically. And the reason why is because I don't stand out in the open anymore. I used to do that all the time. I would just stand out in the open. I'm like, I'm a good shot. You know, I'll kill them before they kill me. Meanwhile, I'm shooting at people that are standing behind a rock, and I'm out in the open like, hi! You know, obviously I'm going to take bullets. Obviously I'm going to get hurt. So with that being said, I started hiding behind rocks. Every engagement that I got into, I made sure that I had a spot to retreat and heal before I got into that fight. All right. Every time that my team pushed up, I pushed up along a wall. I pushed up against every single video. I've done something weird. I've made some like mix up in my words or like hit my microphone. I'm sorry, guys. I'm derpy. Let's get back to it. Every time that I'm running through an open field, I'm looking for the rocks. I'm looking for the wall. I'm looking for a spot that I can retreat to where I won't take that damage, or I'll take as minimal damage as humanly possible. So that's why you guys are dying, because your decision making is poor, because your map awareness is poor. Map awareness in Apex is paying attention to the mini map, paying attention to where your team is, okay, paying attention to where the enemy team is and making a strategic decision. Rainbow Six, map awareness is knowing where people are going to spawn, knowing what is the most common places for people to hide, putting your little robot that checks things out, putting it in a spot that is going to not only see the most, but also be the most hidden. In Counter-Strike, it's knowing where the hits will register around walls and stuff. Some of the stuff in in Counter-Strike, like there's certain stairs where you can go just a little bit inward, just like a pixel inward, and it'll still hit your shot. All right, knowing that information is going to help you. You know, always being in the right spot at the right time is going to help you. So before you engage ever, I don't want you to ever start shooting at somebody in any game. All right, think about this. You should not start engaging without first deciding where you're going to post up. That's it. And in the beginning, it's going to be hard because you're going to want to just run in there, slide down that hill in Apex Legends, face check that Rainbow Six, because you feel like you are just going to go in guns blazing, pre-fire, and kill them. But it's not working for you, is it? It's not working as well as you thought. So I need you guys to slow down a little bit, just a little bit. And before you engage anybody, you need to be looking forward and deciding, where am I safe to shoot them? All right, because right now you're probably not safe, even if you think you are. So before you make any sort of shot, before you make any sort of play, you need to decide where you're going to put yourself so that if things get bad, you can retreat or heal or get back to your team or wait for your team while holding that position. That's how you win those matches. And the other thing is talking about when to attack and when to stay put. All right, if you're fighting a team in Counter-Strike, right, and you shoot one person, right, and you shoot a second person, and you're pretty sure a third's coming up, you should be telling your team to move forward with you and waiting for them before you move forward, because you're a solo right now, right? In Counter-Strike, it seems like a lot of times people are in weird spots where it's like only one person can probably get to you at a time. You should be telling people, I got 2 down, I need 2 people with me, we're gonna push forward. They'll rotate, and then you guys can push as a 3-man. So at least it's a 3v3, all right, in that game. And in Apex, when you hear a team fighting, 2 teams fighting, you should be making sure your team is okay to go. Looking at your team's armor and heads, you know, your helmets. A lot of people don't look at helmets. If you have a white helmet, headshots are gonna go right through that, seriously. So you need to be making sure that your team is ready to attack. On the upside, on the flip side, if there's a lot going on in a battle royale like H1 or PUBG or Apex, it might be time for you to just sit and observe instead of trying to pick shots. Every shot you make, people hear that. And remember, we talked about reaction time. Audio cues are faster than visual. So somebody's going to turn at you. All right, at least they know what position you're in. You want to make your shots count in those games because people are going to know where you are, right? Do you really want to give away your position to whiff 4 shots at somebody who's fighting another team anyway? Or do you want to sit, lay low, wait for that team to finish fighting, right? They got like 1 person left on the team, then push in. And as soon as that person dies, a whole new team, your team, is there ready to take out the low team that has been fighting and they're hurt and they're you know, obviously they've got a lot going on. And you can just wipe them out real quick and you've got your kills. Think about it. That's the decision making that you need to be making. That's the way you need to be thinking about all of your fights. Just pot shotting at people, trying to hit people from all over and I do it too. Don't get me wrong. I do it too. All right. I'm always looking to improve. Ninja said it best. There's always room for improvement. All right. He was talking to Dr. Lupo about it one day. They won a match, you know, Ninja soloed everybody. And he said, you know, always room to improve. And that's true. There's always room to improve. You're never the greatest. You're never the best. Shroud has to improve every day. If Shroud stopped playing games, he'd probably still retain most of his play, but he'd fall behind. You have to keep pushing. All right. You have to keep conditioning yourself to make the right decisions. So always room to improve. If you go in, right, and it didn't work out, you need to think about why it didn't work out, and you need to apply that to your next game. If your team wasn't there and you pushed in solo, that's completely your fault. If your team was there and you pushed in and you decided to flank and your team died while you were flanking, that's completely your fault. All right, your team needed you, and instead you wanted to get an angle to try to kill everybody from behind. Sometimes that's not always the best decision. Sometimes having 3 angles, right, on the same door is just as good as you running through the backside. So that's what I want you guys to really think about. Now, I want to also talk about, your golden rule of FPS shooters. This is my golden rule, and this is something that I try to instill in people, and we've already talked about it a little bit. The golden rule of FPS shooters is, can I win this? Okay? Can I win this fight? And you need to really think about everything. The positioning that they're in, the positioning that you're in, the team, your team's condition. If they won that fight, they probably have an Apex blues and purples. If it's Rainbow Six and you're a solo, you probably shouldn't be pushing into the main bomb site. You should probably be trying to pick people off from the outside. Counter-Strike Go, if you're a solo, is it really worth it to run full steam into the bomb site? No, you should be trying to lay back, listening for the plant, and then shooting the planter, and then backing up, getting out of there and getting a new position. All right, they're going to be looking for you. Now you got a new position. They're going to plant again. You can pot shot them again. All right, these are the things that you need to be thinking about. The golden rule is, can I win this fight? If the answer is no, don't engage. The answer is yes, engage. And the only exception to that rule is in games like Rainbow Six, Counter-Strike, probably Valorant because it's brand new, right? Those games are time sensitive. Call of Duty, Search and Destroy, those are time sensitive. So that means that sometimes you can't decide, can I win this fight? Sometimes you have to decide, I will win this fight, and just try to make yourself as unpredictable as possible. So you shoot at them, you make a new position, you shoot at them, make a new position, shoot at them, make a new position. Or in Counter-Strike, a lot of it is waiting. So you have the AWP, right? If you have an AWP, pop, wait, pop, wait, throw a flash bomb. Now you're running in because they're flashed. That's how you really need to look at what you're doing and how you can improve it. This is going to take a while. It's going to take much longer than a week. It took me years to get to where I am, and I'm still making mistakes. My best suggestion to you is what we talked about in the beginning. Work on your survivability instead of trying to run in and kill everything. Okay? You shouldn't be hesitant to a point where your team is dying because you're deciding not to push in, but you need to push in with your team. That'll help you survive. You need to make sure that wherever you're shooting from is not an open space where your full body is always exposed, and you can't, if you're getting hit, right, and you're down to half health and there's no signs of stopping, you no longer can turn away. You're in the middle of the room. You're in the middle of the field. You can't leave anymore. So you need to be by a rock, by a wall, by a box, all right, somewhere that can give you cover to give you more survivability. That's what I really want you guys to instill. And the next time that you're playing these games, record your VOD, watch your VOD. Every time you die or take damage, rewind it about 10-15 seconds, watch yourself. But that alone, this in teamwork is going to really push you to excel beyond. I would say that teamwork is the sole reason that people get into Predator or top tier, you know, top 500. It's not their aim, it's their decision making and their teamwork with everybody else. That's it. Those are the things you really need to focus on. You've already conditioned your aim. You've already understood your reaction time. You need to work on your teamwork. You need to work on your decision making. And I think that analyzing your videos is going to be the #1 way to do it. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that I gave you a new perspective, and I hope that you guys are seeing improvements by being part of this program. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I'm really sad that it's over. I just want to tell you guys that I hope that you guys are seeing whatever you join this for. And I really think you will. I love you guys so much. Peace.